Captain Ahab's Motorcycle Club is a global collaborative project. It begins with graphic design. We have a lot of beautiful chapter patches coming in from around the world. We don't have one from here yet, but one of you hopefully will get on the job, or maybe more of you. We also have a music library. Let me explain, sometimes this is difficult to understand. The music library, it consists of a bunch of songs that I've written. I posted the songs. Anybody can download them for free at CaptainAhabsMotorcycleClub.com. You can also download each individual track that it took to make that recording, including scratch vocals and click tracks. You can do your own mixes and send them to me, and I will perform them. Or if you would like, you can contribute tracks to some of the pre-existing mixes, and other people can do mixes using the musical tracks that you provide. So that's what we're doing here tonight. Eventually we're going to make a feature film. This music is for our club. The feature film will be music from the 1850s, but this is how we are going to learn to communicate and work together. So let's take a look at the music library now and see how it works. This is all auto harp and organ. Now you're traveling to distant stars. Didn't that mean breaking her heart? All alone she sits and cries for her diamond in the sky. And that's how it works. Thank you very much. Sort of sampling. Thank you. In the 20th century, well, you might have heard about it. Well, yeah, that was me. You saw me in your pictures, you saw me in your books. If you think you might have missed it, turn around and take a look, 'cause I'm the first freak found by P.T. Barnum. I'm the first to take a train to see jazz up in Harlem, the first to play country, the first to play pop. I'm the first to drop acid and the first one to stop, and I'm the first to take art to a whole new level, make it so full of shit that you gotta bring a shovel. The first to drive a car to win a girl's attention, and I've done a lot of things that I don't want to mention. That's the way I was born, that's the way that I am, and I'm still just a 20th century man. And I know what they'll say on the day that I die. They'll say, there goes a 20th century guy. Man to ever throw a pager in the ocean. I'm the first man to hold hands and do the locomotion. I'm the first boy to put peanut butter on his chocolate. I'm the first boy to ever tie a toy to a rocket. That's the way I was born, that's the way that I am, and I'm still just a 20th century man. And I know what they'll say on the day that I die. They'll say, there goes a 20th century guy. That's the way I was born, that's the way that I am, and I'm still just a 20th century man. And I know what they'll say on the day that I die. They'll say, there goes a 20th century guy. Thank you very much. Sorry for that. All right, this next track, this next song is called Horns. It's about horns. And the track has been sent to us by Sven Wild from Norway. Sven Wild or Wild, I don't know how he says his name, but he's from Norway, from one of our Norwegian chapters. So let's take a look at what Sven's been up to here. And it's a very tricky counting, so we might have to try this a couple times. It all comes down to horns. The sheep are in the meadow, the cows are in the corn. The angels blow their horns, you can hear them everywhere. But madness is the tone of my despair. horn, and the walls came tumbling down. You never know what sound they'll make. Madness is the tone of my despair. Madness is the tone of my The angels blow their horns, you can hear them everywhere, but madness is the tone of my despair. Madness is the tone of my despair. Yes, thank you very much. Alright, that track came to us all the way from jolly old Norway from Sven Weil. And he sent me pictures of the stuff he uses. It's all this antiquated machines. Thank you. Please come back to me, my Penny Jane. Say no, everything is fine, and I will laugh at all of their dreams and laugh at all of their minds, and she can tell me how cruel I can be and how laughter can make a man blind. There's a girl I know from her heart to her soul, and someday she'll be my wife again. Until she calls, I will scratch at her walls and watch her undress through a knife hole, and brushing her hair and the way that she stares as she sits alone cleaning her rifle. Please come back to me, my Penny Jane. Thank you. walked by. She looked terrified. It was something in her dream. You saw it in your dream too. She had eyes a lot like you. Morning doesn't wake her. Morning doesn't wake her. Morning doesn't wake her. Morning doesn't wake her. Next mix comes to us from Matt Cowan, the mighty Matt Cowan, and Lloyd DeBonis from Queens, New York. 1, 2, 3. I've been inside of the garden. I heard the serpent cry. I let him cry on my shoulder. Let me tell you why. He had been crying forever, hoping to pass away. I said, what makes you cry so hard? Here's what he had to say. He gave his love to another. He gave her all he could give. She took his heart, showed him her soul, and left with his will to live. Now his garden is fading, burned from the salt of his tears, dying of a broken heart that lasts a million years. As he cried on my shoulder, I started crying too. I said all there was to say. I love. And as I held him and told him this, I knew he could be the devil. And as he wrapped himself around my neck, I knew I could be in trouble. But all he did was cry and tell me things that men have said before, and nothing more. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt Cowan and Lloyd DeBonis. They don't write them like that anymore, do they? Neither do I. That was quite a week. It was an amazing fun week of writing that song. There's a song in your heart, and I can see it. If I were a younger man, I would probably try to sing it. you or wreck your life. You know what? Thank you. I'm going to start this next one. I just missed the count off. I missed the counting. It's a very quick counting, and it's not a very normal counting. And I don't want to just jump in all willy-nilly because I love you very much. And I want to make sure that, first, well, that, I love you very much, of course. And I also wrote the shit out of this song. And there's no way, if I mess it up, I'm starting over again anytime because that last song, I wrote a little smudge out of it. This one, I wrote the shit out of this one. When I say you can write a song, you write the shit out of it. The living shit, they used to say. I don't know what that is. Tapeworms, perhaps. I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm glad we're all on the same page about tapeworms. Alright, so we go. Keep in mind, what did I do with this song? I'll talk about it later. I wore my cloak of invisibility, so the raindrops could not see me as they fell all around me in confusion everywhere. They are trying hard to find me. They are trying to remind me of the day when I was a raindrop too. But so much has changed since the day that I left the rain, and I know that nothing will ever be the same. So I sit and drink my tea now and shield it from my friends, and I wonder if this rain will never end. I knew a man whose heart was bigger than his brain. He died because he loved the rain. Now I'm on my way, and on my way I go, as a man who swore out a rainbow. The man who swore at a rainbow. The man who swore at a rainbow. This weather is bullshit, man. This rain is fucked. It rained all night the day I left. The day I left, it rained all night. Yeah, that's right. Rain poured and thunder roared and the lightning was electrical. I didn't sleep last night from all their tornado warnings. Sirens blaring everywhere from night until morning. The people around here have heard it all too many times before. They don't run down to the basements anymore. Not me though. I run down every time they blow, 50 times a night until morning. Running down the stairs to the sound of their tornado warnings. It rained all night and the very next day, and all the way to the airport. The rain came down in every kind of way. Nobody had a thing to say. Nobody wanted to talk. Nobody cared about the young man running down the sidewalk. Why didn't he walk? He couldn't have gotten any wetter, so running couldn't make things better. Maybe there was time to gain, or maybe the rain had made him insane. By the time I got to the airport, I'd have thought they had canceled my flight. It was raining harder than it did last night, and most folks canceled out of spite and chalked it up to foresight. Most folks were wrong. The lines were short, so I didn't have to wait too long. I went to a gate to sit and wait as a middle-aged man walked by in a cowboy hat with a very small brim. Look at him. What do you think he means by that? Wearing that small brim cowboy hat, he's stubborn in his way, I'd say, and he wanted everyone to know it. Wearing that small brim cowboy hat was the way that he chose to show it. It didn't apply to airports, or anything else for that matter. It only applied to himself and his hatter. Speakers blast above his head, our nation is on alert. He does not seem to register that dirt. TV screens show us scenes of the war at every gate. Not a practice I would advocate. Showing us bombings as we board a plane in a pleasant flight they wish us. I find this all suspicious. They say intended packages and bags will be destroyed. Here's an idea that should be employed. Shows the packages being destroyed as it's being done. We look around to see if they belong and run. Here's something new, something that's never been said. Teenage girls carry aboard the pillows from their beds. Maybe I should carry one too just to see. Maybe if I do, they'll talk to me. One girl's been cutting scars into her own skin. Her stomach is covered with them. Scars cut into her skin. I don't think her decision's going to age well. I don't bring this up to be unkind, but I don't think the future is what she or anyone else here has in mind. I wore my cloak of invisibility, so the raindrops could not see me as they fell all around me in confusion everywhere. They are trying hard to find me. They are trying to remind me of the day when I was a raindrop too. Yeah, thank you. Let me tell you about that song. It isn't easy, it isn't great, when you see the effects that fate can have on your mental state. How does it feel? How does it strike you when you learn that the people who love you don't really like you? Not very much. What is that feeling that you get when you see that the glass is not half empty, it is half full of your bullshit? It brings up questions. It even might cause debates and arguments that you can win without being right. Ah, that was beautiful. That was stunning. All right, that does it. You guys are all coming with me for the rest of my life. Did somebody say you? Oh, woo! Thank you. This next song comes to us from Patrick Havacan from Long Island. And I have to warn you, I almost stopped singing this song because I'd sing it. People go, oh, you're singing about this. And I go, no, that's not it. And I go, oh, you're singing about this. And I go, no, that's not it either. But then Patrick Havacan sent us this beautiful mix from Long Island, New York. So let's see what the people in Long Island are up to, shall we? Well, there's a three-headed dog, and he's a very good dog. He's a three-headed dog at the gates of hell. A three-headed dog, and he's a very good dog, and he's got 6 eyes to see with, 6 ears to hear the bells of hell, 4 legs to stamp the ground to the sound of a pounding hellhound's heart that beats to the sound of the bells of hell as well. There are gates in heaven, there are gates in hell. There's a saint that stands at the gates, but down in hell. There's a dog that waits, and he's a three-headed dog, and he's a very good dog. He's a three-headed dog at the gates of hell. A three-headed dog, and he's a very good dog, and he's got 6 eyes to see you with, 6 ears to hear the bells of hell, 4 legs to stamp the ground to the sound of a pounding hellhound's heart that beats to the sound of the bells of hell as well. It's not easy, thank you. Hey, St. Peter, is that your dog? No, boy, no, he belongs to God. Hey, St. Peter, really bite my soul. If you don't believe in God, then the answer is no. Cause if you don't believe in God, it's cause he never gave you a soul. And if you don't believe in God, then it really shouldn't bother you to know this fact. And if you don't have a soul, then you're never going to get one. If you don't have a soul, then it doesn't really matter, so you might as well just have fun. If you seek inner peace in a world of strife and struggle, and if you can achieve some personal relief, well, don't let God's face burst your bubble. A battle that's well chosen is a battle that's already won. So pick your fights, focus on yourself, and above all, just have fun. Make this world a better place by living a good life. With your wife and your kids and your cars and your house and your houses and your cars and your wife. Set a good example, not like the unfortunate ones who struggle and suffer and starve and die because they don't know how to have fun. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, oh yes, this next one is another mix by Sven from Norway, and he used my original auto harp tracks. When I walk through the crosswalk, the mommies all lock their doors, the daddies all crack their drawers, and the girls get quite excited. When I walk through the parking lot, the mommies all lock their doors, the daddies all honk their horns, and they wonder where their girls are. The mommies all clutch their purses tight, the daddies are ready to fight, and the girls get quite excited. When I walk down the ways, the mommies are fast asleep, the daddies are dreaming deep, and the girls get quite excited. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Gabe Pitchery from Kalamazoo, Michigan. You made your big mistake when I was CC'd on the message. Big mistake when I was CC'd on the message.
Yeah, like right where camera comes out here on the team, if you go to the left of it, or like the power line follows the power lines, they go right by the electricity.
You knew my heart would break when I read what it said. I don't know if you meant it, I only know you sent it. You haven't got any new friends, just some sorry people online. But if you want to have a real friend, you could have been a friend of mine. But you made your big mistake when I was CC'd on the message. Big mistake when I was CC'd on the message. You made your big mistake when I was CC'd on the message. Big mistake when I was CC'd on the message. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kansas, Michigan, for that amazing hit.
Is it kind of like it's hell? Yeah, I got it.
A song for the club that we were also dedicated.
Yeah.
Here comes Mike, riding a bike, on his way to see the girl he adored. Gonna make her his in the eyes of the Lord, with the gold ring that he couldn't afford. At the back wheel, hot on his heels, here comes the devil, all disheveled, all confused, all distraught, trying to steal the ring that Mike brought. Mike, paddle faster if you're going to beat these click-a-ding wolves with your pedaling feet. Who's this girl that you're both going to meet? Does she know how to make nice things to eat? Mike, paddle faster than the devil can run. You know exactly what you have done, how you've tittered, how you've guffawed, crimes against God, sins of the law. Did he outreach the devil? Then he grabbed Mike's belt. Mike lost control from the tug that he felt, fell on the ground, wrestled around, devil's rebound. Mike was down. Here comes the devil and he's riding a bike with the gold ring that he took from Mike. On his way to see Mike's girl at last, and she moved fast, and I can attest to her having a checkered past. And when she smiled, she had a pretty face. I used to cry each time she sang Amazing Grace, and people smile as we would walk by and tell me I'm a lucky guy. She was my sweet little mama, and she was my pretty little girlfriend. She was my sweet little sweetheart. Each weekend I would love her, and I would court her, and I would serenade her. I'd sing my song of love to Mike's girlfriend. Mike's girlfriend. Alright, thank you very much. Any questions so far? What does Mike think about that? What does Mike think about that? So this is Captain Ahab's Motorcycle Club. For those of you just joining us, it's a global collaborative. These songs are songs I've written. I've put up very simple tracks, and people around the world are sending in their mixes, and I'm going around performing to them. And eventually, in about 2 years, we're going to make a feature film together. This is how we're going to make the soundtrack. This is not the soundtrack, but it's how we're learning to communicate. So now I'd like to play a song for you that I did not write. First off, I want to tell you, my name's Corey McAbee. I make movies. I've got a couple of films that you can see on Netflix or Hulu or YouTube or Amazon or in fact, while we wait for that one guy to come out, nothing lights up a face like a phone. See what I mean? See what I mean? Nothing. That one guy, ooh, indeed. But nothing lights up a face like a phone. So get out your phones, go into Netflix, and type in The American Astronaut. It's a movie that I made. And thank you very much. Or Stingray Sam. Both of them are musical space westerns. And in fact, The American Astronaut is probably the only autobiographical musical space western you'll ever see. And that one guy worked on the soundtrack with me, and you can also see him playing bass in a dance scene. So those of you who've seen The American Astronaut, that one guy, bass player in the series Crossroads Dance Contest, and also a major contributor and co-creator of the soundtrack. So anyway, because I've made these two musical space westerns, I've gotten a bit of a reputation as a space cowboy kind of character. So I wanted to sing for you a song that is not part of our library. It is not a song I've written, but it is the oldest space cowboy song ever written. It's over 5,000 years old, this song. hits. Yeah. And every 100 years or so, somebody will sing it and it'll become popular, and then it just disappears again. So I wanted to bring it into this century. So here it is. This is not a song I've written. It is not part of the thing. It is the oldest Space Cowboy song ever written. And ladies, it's a love song. It's a love song, ladies. In fact, I'm gonna call this Sadie Hawkins Dance Night. So you ladies, it's ladies' choice, Sadie Hawkins Dance. Pick somebody to dance with, and I recommend picking somebody that you hate, because that would make it more interesting. And also, they're serving alcohol here. There might be some romantic misunderstandings that you can think about for the rest of your lives. So let's check it out again.
1, 2, 3.
He's got some incredible stuff going on tonight, and I envy you the experience of seeing it for the first time. It's such a wonderful show. So, and thank you all for coming out. So, let's see this. This next song was actually the first song I started with, but this mix is brought to us by Lee Anderson from the UK. I forget which city he's from. I didn't write it down. But he is from the mighty UK. Actually, can we turn up the music just a hair? Because it's a little bit of a soft mix. And thank you for having me. Welcome to Captain Ahab's Motorcycle Club, a club in which you are all members. Go to CaptainAhabMotorcycleClub.com. Slide the email list, and we'll keep you posted. It's probably going to take about 2 years before we make this film, but there might be some stuff that you'd like to be a part of. So, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. So, thank you so much.
No.
That's not it. Oh, you'll never hear that song. I was born in the 20th century. You might have heard saw me in your books. If you think you might have missed it, turn around and take a look, 'cause I'm the first freak found by P.T. Barnum. I'm the first to take a train to see jazz up in Harlem. The first to play country, the first to play pop. I'm the first to drop acid and the first one to stop it. I'm the first to take art to a whole new level. Think it's so full of shit that you gotta bring a shovel. The first to drive a car to win a girl's attention. And I've done a lot of things that I don't want to mention. That's the way I was born, that's the way that I am. And I'm still just a 20th century man. And I know what they'll say on the day that I die. They'll say, there goes a 20th century guy. I'm the first man to ever throw a pager in the ocean. I'm the first man to hold hands and do the locomotion. I'm the first boy to put peanut butter on his chocolate. I'm the first boy to ever tie a toy to a rocket. That's the way I was born, that's the way that I am. And I'm still just a 20th century man. And I know what they'll say on the day that I die. They'll say, there goes a 20th century. That's the way I was born, that's the way that I am. And I'm still just a 20th century man. And I know what they'll say on the day that I die. They'll say, there goes a 20th century guy. Alright, I'd like to thank Sven Weil from Norway for his wonderful mix. Lloyd DeBose from Queens, New York. Matt Cowan from Mighty Matt Cowan. Patrick Halligan from Long Island, New York. Kate Pitley from Kalamazoo. And Lee Anderson for this spectacular mix. And let's thank you all for being here tonight. And thank you for the Captain Ahab's Motorcycle Club, a club in which we are also dedicated. And I can't wait for you to see what that one guy is about to do. He'll be here momentarily. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here. Do you think the people downstairs appreciate that?
We are the people downstairs.
You are? All right, we have a sound man here. Where's our sound person? We need to turn this one up. This is like the softest mix in the world. Do we? Are we?
Yep. Now you push your
All right, there you are, sir. Thank you, sir. I didn't even know where I was looking. Okay, I haven't sang this one for a while. I've been waiting. There's some girls in Australia who are sending me some backup tracks. So what you're hearing is some original backup scratch vocals which were meant to be replaced. So here we are.
What's out of the spring rain?
Okay. Any questions so far? Ow is not a question. All right, here we go. And I haven't done this one for a while, so actually, you might be the first people to hear this one.
Woo! Now you tell me. Owen.
The night divides the day. Sometimes things just happen that way. Try to run, try to hide, but first you must decide. But first you must decide. Though you might not get the things you're hoping, your head is cracking open. Your head is cracking open. Your head is cracking open. Your head is cracking. audience for sitting out that sing-along. It gets worse from there. So, all right, now a little bit. You want more? Go on to Netflix. Get the American Astronaut. Thank you so much. I really, I enjoyed it.